your weekly view of young leaders taking big steps. This is Next Gen. Presented by PFI, home of Boot Daddy. We are right next door to Bass Pro Shops and the Wonders of Wildlife to learn about a unique educational opportunity for fifth graders right here in Springfield, called the Wonders of Wildlife Learning Facility, otherwise known as Wolf School. The program has been alive for 11 years. Take me to the very beginning. How did it all get started?
Right, so this is our 11th year. Wolf and our choice programs came from our strategic planning process in 2005. We surveyed our stakeholders during that process, and one of the things that we learned is that our stakeholders wanted more choice for our students, specialized programs that can engage our students in a deeper way. From that work and that strategic plan came the push for specialized programs like Wolf, and ultimately the Wolf program just a couple years later.
Wonders of Wildlife and Bass Pro has been involved from the very beginning of Wolf School, and the importance of that is getting kids outdoors, getting them out to understand conservation, because if we don't, these kids are going to be your future voters. They're going to be future conservationists, and we want them to understand and protect the natural world. And if we don't get them outdoors, they're probably not going to protect it in the future.
So let's talk about that student. What type of fifth grader is attracted to the WOOF program?
Well, I think obviously students who are in love with the outdoors or think that the outdoors is something they want to be more engaged in. Wolf has great representation of our district demographic across our system. But we engage those students who are looking for something that's specialized, an area that they can go deep into, and conservation sciences is something that many students love being a part of.
Well, let's dive deeper into that curriculum.
Okay.
Take me through the day of a life of a WOOF fifth grader.
Maybe the best way to kind of think of what life is like in this classroom is to think of the first 4 days or 4 days of a week where they're learning in their classroom through the lens of conservation sciences. So we still cover all the Missouri learning standards through their curriculum, but it's done through that lens, again, of conservation sciences. What makes this program so unique then is that what they've learned in the classroom is taken into the field, and they're able to apply their learning on site in the real world.
So the first 3 or 4 years, you were located in the old Kmart building, and then Bass Pro and WOW fully committed and built this John A. and Jeannie Morris Conservation Center where the kids get to come to class every single day.
This facility is absolutely amazing, and it's dedicated to Johnny Morris's mother and father, and the fact that they instilled conservation in him every single day, and that's what he wants to do with these kids in the Wolf School. These kids are engulfed in everything around conservation. Our classrooms are designed off of habitats in the state of Missouri. We have animal tracks in the floor, so everything they do from the time they walk in the door till the time they leave in the afternoon is all about conservation, and it's all about that next generation and educating those kids.
And there's lots of hands-on application. Give me some examples of how they're able to get their hands dirty and basically see and feel conservation all around them.
Right, well, they do that in lots of ways. One of the ways that I think a lot of people see and really appreciate is their animal handling. That our students are able to talk to the public about various types of animals. They're trained to handle those animals accordingly. You'll also see our Wolf students out in canoes. You'll see them in our rivers and streams, all sorts of field experiences, again, where they're applying their learning from their classroom.
So Jackson, I understand that one of the parts of the curriculum is animal handling. Take me through that process and what you've been able to handle so far.
So the first animal that we've been handling is the Madagascar hissing cockroach. So to pass this animal, we have to show that we can take it out of its crate properly, that we can transport it, move it properly, and just like overall take care of it out of the crate. And then after that, we'll have to take a written test about handling it outside of that setting, and we'll have to present on the animal in order to pass on to the next level.
So has being part of the Wolf School changed your opinion about school as a whole?
It's changed my opinion about school a little bit differently. Overall, I'm just more excited to come to school because of the extra stuff that we're given the opportunities to do. It's also sort of changed my opinion about school. We're learning stuff in a way that I don't really feel like I realize we're learning it until they actually have us relay the information back on like a test, which I think is really cool.
So you've been part of the program from the very beginning. Also, I'm sure there are so many stories that you can share of the impact the school has had on the many students that have walked through these doors.
No, the impact doesn't end when they leave 5th grade. They can actually stay on and volunteer with us, be part of our teen program, which is called Tomorrow's Naturalist Today, and they can volunteer throughout their high school into college. We actually here at Wonders of Wildlife have 3 staff that are hired here working for us on a day-to-day basis. We've got kids in college, they're going into environmental law. It's amazing to see what happens with these families throughout the school year. For instance, kids who have never been involved in the outdoors, and their families are not outdoor families. The families would say, we've never really gone tent camping, or we've never gone canoeing. And these kids and Wolf are absorbing the entire family. So if they go to hike at the nature center or a park, the kids are educating mom and dad about leaves and bugs and just everything in general. And these families are now outdoor families. They're hunting, they're hiking, they're canoeing, they're kayaking, and they'll come back years later and call us, or they'll stop us in the grocery store and they'll say, do you know what we do now compared to what we did before the WOOF program? That effect to me is amazing. It's to see those families come together and to see what growth they have in the outdoors.
So at the end of the year, these 5th graders have got to spend an entire year in this classroom. What's your goals for them? What do you want them to be able to walk away with and apply, whether it's in future careers or just in advocating for conservation in our area?
So, you know, in Springfield Public Schools, we have a real commitment to creating environments for our kids that are engaging, relevant, and personal. It's programs like the Wolf School that allow students to immerse themselves in content, take that content that they've learned in the classroom and apply it in the field. And so this is one of our flagship programs and one of our greatest examples of how we're working to make experiences as engaging as we can for our students.
So how has this changed your opinion about conservation?
It's changed my opinion about conservation. At first, when I first got here, I didn't really know a lot about conservation. But it's changed my opinion. I know a ton more about it, and I feel like now it's more important to me than when I first started the program. It's more valuable as a learning and tool than just as something to do as a hobby.
From all the 5th graders at Wolf School, get outside and enjoy